China, the world's most populous country and second largest economy, is no stranger to global power plays. But today, it's not just the economy or the military that's seeking waves, it's the growing influence that China holds across international borders. The new sphere of influence is reshaping global alliances, trade, and geopolitics. But what does it all mean for the future of international relations? Let's dive in this video. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most important topics in global affairs right now, the rise of China's new sphere of influence. From Africa to Latin America and even the heart of Europe and Asia, China's expanding role is something that has profound implications for international relations. But why does this matter? And how does it change the balance of power around the world? Let's break it down. First, let's define what we mean by a sphere of influence. In international relations, a sphere of influence refers to a region or group of countries that are significantly affected or aligned with the interests of a more powerful nation. It can involve economic, military, or cultural dominance, sometimes all three. For centuries, nations have been trying to carve out spheres of influence to control resources, secure strategic alliances, or project their power. The United States had its Monroe Doctrine in the Americas, while Russia has maintained a sphere of influence in Eastern Europe and Central America. Now China is asserting itself in a new and ambitious way. Now let's zoom in on China. Over the last 2 decades, China has rapidly increased its footprint on the global stage. Through trade, investment, and even military partnerships, China is establishing a new kind of global presence. China's Belt and Road Initiative, for example, is one of the most ambitious projects in history. By investing in infrastructure like railroads, ports, and energy networks, China is building a deeper ties with dozens of countries, particularly in Africa, Asia, and even parts of Europe. This is helping China to extend its economic and political influence well beyond its borders. Now, it's not all about dollars and pennies. Beijing is also strengthening its military presence in the strategic locations, from South China Sea to a growing number of military bases in places like Djibouti and Pakistan. China's economic military expansion go hand in hand, creating a soft power effect on the global stage. So why does all of this matter for international relations? Let's break it down from the strategic end. First, China's sphere of influence is challenging the existing global order that has been shaped by the United States and its allies for the past 70 years. By increasing its diplomatic, economic, and military reach, China is exerting itself as a global military power. This is creating a shift in the balance of power, especially in regions like Asia, Africa, and Latin America, where countries are increasingly choosing to align with China. For example, take Africa. China has become Africa's largest trading partner, investing heavily in infrastructure projects. This gives China not only an economic leverage, but a political influence as well, with African nations increasingly turning to China for leadership and development. In Latin America, China is expanding its influence through trade, investment in energy, and mining partnerships with key regional powers like Brazil and Argentina. By providing an alternative to the Western-style loans and investments, China is gradually changing the dynamics of the region. But it's not all smooth sailing. China's growing influence comes with both risk and opportunities for both China and for the world. On one hand, China's financial support has helped many developing nations improve infrastructure, access new markets, and boost economic growth. On the other hand, some critics argue that China's investments have come with strings attached through debt traps, lack of transparency, and concerns over human rights. Countries like Sri Lanka, for example, have found themselves struggling to repay Chinese loans, and some have even had to offer up key assets like ports as collateral. This creates a delicate balancing act for governments, choosing between economic growth and the potential for long-term dependence on China. At the same time, this growing influence creates new opportunities for countries to diversify their partnerships, breaking free from traditional reliance on Western powers like the US and the EU. So how are the United States, Europe, and other global powers responding to the rise in China's influence? Washington and Brussels have expressed their concern over China's growing global role, especially in critical key areas like trade, technology, and security. The US is attempting to counter China's influence through initiatives like the Quad, an alliance with Japan, India, and Australia, focused on a free and open Indo-Pacific. Europe, too, has been adjusting its approach. While many European nations are deeply integrated into China's economic network, there is a growing wariness over issues like human rights and security, particularly in regards to China's technological advancements and its role in global supply chains. So, what's next? As China continues to expand in its sphere of influence, the world will face new challenges in managing this complex web of economic. While this presents a great opportunity for some nations to gain access to new resources and markets, it also forces the world to reckon with questions of sovereignty, global governance, and the balance of power. Will China's rise lead to a more multipolar world, or will it create tensions and divisions? Only time will tell. One thing is for sure, the rise of China's sphere of influence is reshaping the global landscape, and we're all going to feel its impact. Is China's growing influence a good thing for the world, or does it pose a threat? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and share, and subscribe for more deep dives into global politics. I'll see you all next time.